Have you ever heard the tale of Dark Dungeons? It's a little piece of propaganda originating in the 1980s from Jack Chick, a cartoonist or comic artist who decided to release a series that's still available online and ongoing, by the way, of comic strips decrying Dungeons and Dragons as a Satanist game that will lead you only to harm and malice. Let's take a look at a couple of those frames that he's created. Debbie, the cleric has raised to the 8th level. You think it's time to learn how to really cast spells.
You mean you're going to teach me how to have the real power?
Yes, and have the personality for it now. So basically what he was saying is Dungeons and Dragons is real, and your character will go into your real life, which sounds awesome. How is this detracting me from anything? I'm going to be a half-elf. In this one, a character who died in the game has decided to hang herself in real life, to which her friend is saying,
method.
no,
That's devotion.
this is what will happen. The thief Blackleaf did not find the poison trap, and I declare her dead.
No, not Blackleaf. No, I'm not going to die. Don't make me quit the game. Please don't. Somebody save me. You can't do this.
You are dead. You don't exist anymore. And then she hung herself. Don't be stupid, Debbie. I think you'd better let Elfstar take care of things. You're getting out of control.
I don't want to be Elfstar anymore. I want to be Debbie.
You'll lose control of your life. Look out. No role-playing for anyone.
No.
Or it'll be too real. So, there's a new project that was recently successfully kickstarted to make a movie based on Jack Chick's propaganda, Christian fundamentalist, anti-D&D, Satanism strips. Let's take a look.
Let's get ready to RPG! 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 RPG!
Using RPGs to fight evil will never work because RPGs are evil.
Killing?
Yeah, but it's all imagination.
Is it?
And thanks to the power of the subconscious, they will begin to live it for real.
RPG! RPG!
Yeah! Frat boys, let's do it!
Oh my god, the frat boy that's like, are you ready to RPG? Is now my boyfriend, and we're dating. So, just made that announcement, save the date.
So, the Kickstarter successfully acquired the rights to do Dark Dungeons from Jack Chick. I should have mentioned earlier, of course, my head is spinning from shouting RPG, that Chick Publications, which publishes the comic, is correctly labeled as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
But at the same time, he's the most successful comic author in history,
same
selling
time,
allegedly 750 million copies of his
That's horrible,
works.
considering his targets are...
That's also a lie. He
Let's
didn't
see,
sell that.
abortion, evolution, homosexuality. I should have said these are things that he paints in a very, very negative way. He's not very fond of Catholics, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses. And they, pretty much if you're not a Baptist, you're in a shit list. And there's also a section on his website, if that's not enough hate for you, adapted for black audiences for that dose of racism.
Yum. Getting all those hot button issues.
So this makes me, with that trailer in light, what the hell kind of movie is this? Is it a parody? Is it intentionally bad? Is it not intentionally bad? Is it going to be faithful to Jack Chick, considering they're working with him on the project?
Until I read the article, I thought this was going to be one of those faithful recreation, left behind type of like super serious religious scare pieces, which are great to watch.
Yeah.
In a horrible way.
Right.
Knowing that some people actually believe that.
I mean, if for the most part, if people at our age aren't going to be swayed by a film like this, however serious it is, it's to target kids and scare them into submission, however you want to put it.
Or the old people to give them that validation, like, see, I was right.
I knew it. Evil. But this movie has no self-identifying people of faith involved in its productions. Right. The writer-producer J.R. Rawls is a gamer, and he runs a gaming-related web series. You'd think he would be part of the culture that this movie is decrying.
Yeah.
So have they pulled the wool over Jack Chick's eyes and pretended that they are going to make a movie about his work, but instead made something very laughable?
Well, I think that they had enough faith in the source material that it was going to be laughable anyway, that they could say, like, truthfully, we're going to do whatever you tell us. We're going to make this movie, and it's going to be a recreation of the comics, because they have enough faith in, like, the source material that it's going to be ridiculous.
So it's like how we watch Reefer Madness now.
Exactly.
But like they went back in time and made the exact same movie knowing what we know now about it.
Is this like the most meta thing in the world?
I mean, it felt like it wanted, like the trailer wanted to be the Requiem of a Dream for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Blood dice.
Like, oh my God, is that what it's really like? I'm never doing Dungeons and Dragons ever.
Yeah. But it's hard because I feel like with the comic, they really try to emphasize how scary it is and like the occult and like you get real power. And with the trailer, you kind of got the sense that it was a little bit making fun of itself, or the acting just wasn't up to par enough to be like truly scary.
The acting seems like one of those direct-to-DVD Christian fundamentalist films.
That's true.
It's like overexposed at parts, and the acting is very stale and directly into camera.
Yeah.
Like collapsing down to your knees and like having that moment that those films
I should
love.
have listened to the Red Woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my.
But I mean, if they are sticking straight to the source material from beginning to end, I don't know that we'll ever really get that tongue-in-cheek moment from the filmmakers.
Right, but is that a good or a bad thing? Because if there's too much of that like self-awareness, then it's not necessarily a bad movie. It's just a bad movie. Like awful.
I'm still just, I'm so confused by this because I don't know if, will it achieve the Room cult status? Is that the goal that it's trying to do?
The thing with The Room, and I think a lot of the like cult status movies, is that they are unaware of how bad they are. They think that they're a genius and that this needs to happen. It needs to go out into the world.
Well, you'll remember the creator of The Room later
Tommy
was like,
Wiseau.
oh, I was joking. It's
Yeah,
so
right,
funny,
Tommy
guys.
Wiseau. I
But
saw you
it's
at
a
WonderCon.
Good move for him. I mean,
But
Yeah.
we know.
He's an alien.
We don't believe him.
We know that came from somewhere deep in his soul, and he felt like this was going to be his masterpiece.
Exactly. And like the success of it came from people being like, he has no idea that this is so bad that it's funny.
Does that get ruined if they're doing it on purpose? I
Yes.
would say yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but that's the question. They're towing the line because they've got someone on board that thinks it's real, but they themselves don't. So that's where it's kind of half in, half out.
With that, though, they run the risk of actually making that movie that serves that religious purpose.
But then they get those Christian dollar bills.
Well, if it's just about money.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it always?
It could be just the biggest, most meta art project ever, maybe. I don't know. What do you think of the Dark Dungeons movie? What is the goal of it? What is it trying to do, and what does it actually do? And is Jack Chick going to sue them or pledge his allegiance to them forever? Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe and visit our Facebook page.